Hey friends, it's Amy the Keto Queen. It's Wednesday. I cannot believe it's Wednesday, but it is Wednesday. It's half the week is gone, guys. And we are making something super simple and easy. You guys know we love Mexican. And we are making tacos. So instead of doing taco salad with a twist or tacos with a twist, we decided to do cheesy shell taco bowls. So if you guys have never had cheese shells, I want to show you how simple and easy this is. I've got my oven on 400. You can make it on 450. You can do 400. You can do 350. However fast you want to cook your cheese shells is what it's all about. Making sure that you don't burn them. But guys, this is so easy. Hey, Julie, Belinda, and Deborah, how are you guys doing? So I like to use Monterey Jack or a Colby Jack cheese blend when I make shells. You can use cheddar or mozzarella or anything you love. I have found that cheddar is really, really greasy, and I don't like really, really greasy. So I've got a full cup. Now, the cheese shells really depend on how big a shell you're gonna make. So what I'm planning to do is use a cup of cheese, and I'm going to put the cheese, once it's cooked, over one of these two bowls. So I have a big one, so it'll be, you know, more round, and I've got a flatter one, so it'll be more fat. And if you wanted to do like a muffin size, which is what I normally do, you would actually just put your cheese over your muffin tins. You would not need a full cup of cheese. So it really depends on how big a cheese cup you want to make. If you're just doing like a little muffin cup, then I recommend like a half a cup of cheese, but I'm gonna do a full big bowl. So what you're gonna do is take your whole cup of cheese and you're gonna put some parchment paper on a pan. You do wanna use parchment paper. This is the best way to cook a cheese shell. And you can do these for so many things. I love to do taco bowls. We love to do fajita bowls. I like to use these for wraps, for deli wraps and things like that. Instead of buying the packaged cheese, the cheese wraps that are so expensive, like $3 for a pack of 4, you can make your own. So what we're gonna do is put that cup of cheese in the middle of my pan, and we're gonna mound it up. So you wanna make like a mound, like an Indian mound or a big mountain, but make a mountain of cheese, okay? So we're gonna make it a mountain of cheese right in the center of my parchment paper. I've got my oven on 400, and I'm gonna stick this in the oven, and we're gonna time it for 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes. So let me throw this in real quick. My oven just beeped at 400 degrees. And that's gonna be a big shell. I probably could done a half a cup. Let's see, we're gonna set our timer for, I'm gonna set it for 6 minutes. So we've got it on 400, we're gonna set the timer for 6 minutes, and what we're gonna do is watch this cheese melt. And as it melts, it's gonna start to get brown on the edges. That's when I know mine is done. And we're gonna let that cook for just a second while I mix up some taco meat. I'm curious what you guys are doing for dinner tonight. I always like to come on and just show you easy, simple things. Sometimes these videos are long because we're making something that takes a couple of steps, and then other times it's a really short video. So that is gonna be in the oven for 6 minutes. I do wanna show you what it looks like when it comes out. And what we're gonna do is bake that cheese to make our cheese shell. And when it comes out of the oven, we're gonna let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes, because you don't wanna touch it as soon as it comes out of the oven because you'll burn yourself. So we're gonna let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes. And then we're going to place it over our form. So again, the form I'm gonna use tonight, I'm trying to decide, is it gonna be this one, so it's a bigger, taller shell, or is it gonna be this one, where it's more flat and wide? But I have 2 different forms. I'm trying to decide which one I wanna use. Or you can do something smaller, like a muffin cup, and you can put your cheese over your muffin cups. So I used a whole cup of Monterey Jack cheese to make my bigger bowl. And we're making cheesy taco bowls. So this is really, really good. Lena says she loves my recipes and encouragement. Thank you so much. She did order the digital air fryer like mine, except digital. I hope you love it. I absolutely love my air fryer. I use it all the time. Kimberly started her 10-day drink ketone challenge. She is loving the nat. Thank you, Kimberly, for sharing. I'm so glad you do. Melinda's making the curry chicken. Yum. And broccoli casserole. Ooh, girl, you're in for a treat. Making me jealous over here eating tacos. So we love Mexican. I love fast dinners. Mexican is always fast and delicious. I have a lot of Mexican recipes. But I really love the taco salad with a twist, because I mean, it's delicious. It's so different with cream cheese. But every once in a while, I like just a regular old taco. So tonight we're doing 2 pounds of ground beef, because my husband loves his beef. And we're just cooking up the ground beef. And I am gonna add in a can of tomato sauce. So just a regular tomato sauce. I'm gonna add my taco seasonings. You can do whatever taco seasoning you have. I've got Taco Tuesday, and I know it's Wednesday, but we're gonna use Taco Tuesday seasoning in my taco meat. And then I've got some sour cream, some hot sauce, some salsa, some lettuce, tomatoes, and we're going to make some cheesy taco shells. So what are you guys doing for dinner tonight that's low carb, keto friendly? Angie is making broccoli casserole for the first time. Oh, I hope you love it. This broccoli casserole that I share all the time is so good. Kimberly had salad with chicken, and that sounds amazing. So this is super fast and easy. My husband's out there working on the porch doing something. So by the time he gets done, probably before he gets done, this is going to be finished. Which is a good thing because I'm going to clean this kitchen up and I'm going to be lazy for the rest of the night. Look, I have been so crazy at work, tied to my desk because I had so many emails to check. There were so many customer phone calls to make today that I have only gotten in 3,400 steps. And that is for me working this morning, coming home, and getting some prepping done in the kitchen. The only thing I've done really is started the meat. And I did cut up some tomatoes, but 3,400 steps is all I've got today. Y'all know my daily goal when I can is 10,000. So I don't know for sure if I'm going to make that tonight because I really just need to rest. Let's see. Envy made meatloaf, muffins, and green beans. Yum. Love that stuff. Let me put this up. So I'm going to show you so far. We are... just a few minutes. I still have 2.5 minutes left on this timer. I've got my timer on 6 minutes, and I want to show you what it looks like so far. So you see the cheese mountain is starting to melt and form the patty or the cheese shell. Definitely not done yet. We want it to cook for a good 6 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes. We just want to make sure the edges get brown. I don't like that bubble in the middle. It's just not melted yet. So I got to be patient. Patience is not one of my strong virtues. I wish it was. That's one thing I always have to work on for myself is patience. So I want to show you just how I'm going to form these cheese shells. It is really important that you let it sit for a couple of minutes because you don't want to burn yourself. But as soon as it comes out of the oven, we're going to let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're going to put it over our form. Now, once you put it over your bowl, you want it to sit for, 5 to 10 minutes because you want to get cooled and hard. Okay, it's the shell. Jamie said, did you make the shell? I am making the shell, Jamie. I'm in the process of making the shell. I took a cup of Monterey Jack cheese, so a whole cup, and then made a mountain on top of my parchment paper. I've got my oven on 400, and I've got a timer for 6 minutes. It could be less time, could be more time. We're looking for the edges to brown and it to be good and melted. Pat said, how much cheese do you use? I just answered that. Now, this is not the muffin tin. If you're going to use the muffin tin, I would suggest, a half a cup, and that may be a little too much. So half a cup, 4th cup, just kind of play with it. Depends on the size of your muffin tin, but we are going to use a big bowl. So tonight we're going to be using a big bowl. So I did a cup of cheese that we're going to lay over the top of this bowl to form our shell. And these are really good. When I first started keto, I did a lot of cheese shells because it was fast, easy. I could do it at work in our oven. I made a lot of cheese wraps. So I'd make my shell and then wrap it with deli meat, lettuce, or rotisserie chicken. I mean, there's so many things you can do with these cheese wraps. You also can make raviolis out of them. You can make cannolis out of them. Now, is it great to eat cheese all the time? I have this question a lot. Like, is my cholesterol not out the roof? Am I not constipated all the time? And my answer is no. But we all are different. So if your body is prone to higher cholesterol, you might not want to make cheese shells all the time. If cheese doesn't do your body good and it gets you clogged up, then you might not want to put as much cheese as I do on casseroles. But guess what? You can control your own cheese amount. Just because I have a cup of cheese on my casserole doesn't mean you have to use a cup of cheese. But I do love cheese shells. Jamie says, are you doing the cream cheese recipe tonight? No. All I'm doing, this sounds so simple and so ridiculously easy, Jamie, but all I did was take a cup of Monterey Jack Colby. That's all I did, a cup of cheese, and I put it in a mountain on top of my parchment paper, put it in the oven. My oven's on 400, and we are timing it for 6 minutes, and look at it now. So you do want to keep an eye on it. You don't want it to burn, but that big mountain is now melting, and you see the edges are bubbling, but they're not browned yet, and we're going to let it keep on cooking. I've got, my timer actually just went off for 6 minutes, so let me set a new timer, and we're going to set it for 2 minutes. Whoops. This darn oven. I swear, I got new appliances, and I'm still trying to figure out how to use them. The timer turns my oven off for some reason. So I'm gonna set my timer for 2 minutes. We're just gonna do 2 minutes at a time and just keep an eye on it to make sure it doesn't burn, but to make sure it starts to get a little brown around the edges. Super easy way to enjoy something different. So if you love tacos, but you get tired of eating the low carb wraps or you get tired of taco salads, make you a cheese bowl. It's so delicious. So it's just like a taco salad bowl, similar, Like if you go to the taco Mexican place and they bring you out a taco salad in the big flour bowl, it's not a flour bowl. But it is a really good, nice, crunchy, delicious cheese shell or cheese bowl that you can rip off just like you would the breaded flour bowl and make a really good taco salad. Or anything else. We love fajitas in it. I love fajitas in it. We make fajitas. There's so many things you can do with this bowl. Again, my question I was getting at a while ago that comes to me a lot is cholesterol. A lot of people have sent me messages saying, is your cholesterol not out the roof? My cholesterol is not out the roof. I do have it checked every so often. Actually, it's probably time for me to check it again. 1 year it was high. I've been keto for 3 years. I'm working on my 4th year. 1 year my cholesterol was a little high. Nothing crazy. But there are so many markers to heart disease besides cholesterol. And I don't know if you guys know it, but everybody has cholesterol in your body already. Like we all have cholesterol in our body. So just because you have a high cholesterol doesn't mean you have heart disease. You have to trust your doctors though. I'm not a doctor. And just talk to your doctor about what you can do to lower your cholesterol if it is the cholesterol that makes a difference. And you have other markers to be afraid of. It's more than just cholesterol. But I'm not a doctor. Everybody hear that? I am not a doctor. I'm just telling you my history and my physician who takes care of me. And if you do have high cholesterol, then just back off some of these cheeses. Back off ground beef and eat more chicken. That's not the end of the world. And guess what? There is, ooh, look at this. I got to get back on that cholesterol kick. Now, see, this is starting to brown around the edges. That is looking pretty. Let me get my thing out and we'll see what it looks like out of the oven. Oh, yes. Okay, so you see this edge is getting a little brown, and you can cook it a little longer if you want to. We could watch it. We don't want it to burn. That's the important thing. So I'm going to put it in there for just maybe 1 more minute, just to keep an eye on it. So back to cholesterol, I have to say this. You guys can be mad at me if you want to. I'm not a doctor, please. Everybody hears that. I'm not a doctor. Give me hearts if you heard I'm not a doctor. But I am a normal person, and I can make common sense out of things. I have never met a physician. I've never met a nurse practitioner. I've never met a medical assistant. I've never met an LPN, an RN, or anyone, a nutritionist. I've never met anyone who would say sugar is good for you. And if you eat sugar and carbs, then your health is going to be outstanding. I've never heard that. I have heard many a health professional say, hey, if you eat clean foods, lean meats, vegetables, some real butter, they do not tell you that's going to kill you. They do not say, hey, stay away from those vegetables and lean meat. So we need to make some common sense out of the things that we're doing. If it does not make sense to you, then you need to question it. Okay, I'm talking about all things. If all you hear about is bacon and butter for keto, then there is something wrong. Whoever is teaching you is not teaching you the best they possibly can, because yes, butter is delicious in our food. Bacon makes every side dish amazing. It makes every hamburger amazing. But guess what? Keto is much more than bacon and butter. And look, I almost burned it on my rant. So let me pull this out. Oh, goodness. Oh, it's looking good, y'all. That's looking really, really good. I like that. Now, you don't have to get it that brown around the edges, but I did, so it is what it is. Let me put this down. I'm sorry, I know my camera's all over the place. I'm getting my hot plate out here, and I'm going to stick it over here out of the way. All right, so we are going to set a timer. Set a timer for 2 minutes. We're going to let that sit for 2 minutes because we definitely don't want to touch that right now. It's very hot. Y'all saw the bubbles, right? I don't want to burn my hands for my cheese shell. We're going to let it sit 2 minutes, and then we're going to put it over our cheesy shell form, whatever that is that you want to use. I have multiple bowls in my house, so we can use as many as we want to. I'll put this back over here on the heat so this will stay warm. And what we're going to do now is go ahead and mix up our tacos, but I want to answer any questions you guys may have. If you have questions for me about keto, about getting started keto, if you need information on getting started keto, put getting started in the comments and I'll send you some simple, real information that will help anybody get started with keto. I don't want to be, I'm not trying to be a butthole. I'm just telling you the truth. I have never seen a doctor say, oh, eat all the sugar you want and you're going to be so healthy. I have heard a lot of doctors say, hey, go back to lean meats and vegetables and you're going to be healthier, and that's the truth. So make sure that whatever you're doing makes sense. If someone's telling you to eat 5 pounds of cheese every day, and they're telling you to put heavy cream in everything you eat and drink, and they're telling you to, use all the keto sweeteners you possibly can stomach, then there's something wrong with that, okay? Because that doesn't make sense. Even keto-friendly sweeteners have to be rationed. You can't just eat sweets all day long. I don't care if they're keto or not. That does not make sense, right? So just make sure that anything you're doing is making sense for you. All right, let's see. Give me a paper towel. Okay, let me mix this up. I'm gonna put 3 tablespoons of my taco seasoning in my 2 pounds of ground beef. Again, you can use any kind of taco seasoning you want to. I'm fixing to check out and see if you guys have any questions for me. If you do, please put them in the comments. I want to answer any questions you have while we finish this up. And if you don't have questions, then you guys are free to go. I do want this to sit just for maybe a minute or two, maybe one more minute before I put this over my taco bowl that I want to show you. And there is my timer. My timer just went off. So we're going to carefully, I think I decided to use this one. We are going to carefully move our cheese over to this bowl to form our taco shell. So if I can do it without burning myself. It is still hot. You can see the bubbles. You can see a little bit of grease. The reason I use Monterey Jack cheese is I found that it's not as greasy as using cheddar. If you put a cup of cheddar on this parchment paper, it's really, really greasy. So I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Let's see if I can figure this out. You can just barely see it. So I'm just going to pick this up really quickly. Ooh, right off the parchment paper. It never sticks. It's been sitting for about 2 minutes to cool off. And you'll see it's a little sticky in the middle because it's still melty. All right, and then we're going to put this right over our bowl. Now you can spread it out if you want to make it a little thinner. It's gonna sit for 10 minutes. We want this to sit for 5 to 10 minutes. And as you can see, if you can see, because it's still really, really hot, I actually pulled it apart a little bit when I set it on here. That's okay, just close it up. We're gonna put our taco meat in there anyway. But this is how I'm gonna form my cheese shell. So this is my cheesy taco bowl. So this was 1 cup of cheese. If you want to make 2 cups, you can. Just keep in mind, the more cheese you eat, the higher in calories. Yes, I know keto, we don't count calories, but again, what we do needs to make sense. So we're not worried about calories. We're not counting calories necessarily, but what we do needs to make sense. So I am only going to use 1 cup of cheese, and that is plenty of cheese for me. Now, because I'm making a cheesy shell, I'm not going to add cheese inside my taco bowl. This will be my cheese for the taco bowl. All right, so let me see if you guys have any questions really quickly. Let me stir this up real fast, if you don't mind. So my ground beef is just ground beef. My taco seasoning, I gotta set a timer. Set a timer for 7 minutes.
Okay, 7 minutes and counting.
I'm gonna let this sit for 7 minutes before I eat it. This will make my cheese shell crunchy and hard and form really good. I'm fixing to come check out those comments, guys. I just want to mix this up so it'll be ready when my husband comes in. Let's see if I got any more. I think I want another taco. What is it? Yeah. I'm gonna put another taco sauce in there, tomato sauce. What I do with my, y'all, I'm losing my mind. What I do with my can opener? I had a can opener. Here it is. I'm gonna put another taco sauce in there because I'm not making taco salad with a twist. It looks a little dry to me. And you know your taco salad with a twist has all the goody goodness in there. So I'm gonna put a little bit more taco sauce. And because of that, I decided I'm gonna put a little bit more taco seasoning. More the better. All right, let me see what questions you guys have. We're gonna take this taco shell and we're gonna load it up. So I've got my taco meat, I've got lettuce, I've got salsa, I've got sour cream, I've got cilantro, I've got hot sauce. I'm out of jalapeno peppers. So that's how I'm gonna eat my taco bowl. Sounds delicious, doesn't it? All right, let me run through here real quick to see what questions you guys here have for me. I see a lot of friends on. Thank you guys for joining me. If this sounds good, if I'm ever any help to you guys, please share my videos. I really want to join or to get more people joining the page so we can teach more people simple, easy, delicious keto. Melody's doing baked barbecue steak and garlic parmesan zucchini chips. Yum. That sounds amazing. Let's see. I think I've answered those questions already. I'm scrolling through for the questions. Oh, we got somebody. Corina, says she's stuck at a plateau all month, wondering what the 10-day drink challenge thing is y'all are talking about. Help. I will send you some information on that. 100% I can help you bust your plateau. So a true plateau is where you sit still, stagnant, for at least 4 weeks. I say 4 weeks. And the reason I say that is because so many people panic. You know, nothing happens in 2 weeks. And they're like, oh my God, my whole life is going backwards. And that's not true. So a true plateau is you sitting stagnant for a good 4 weeks. And when I say stagnant, I mean no changes in your clothing, no changes on the scale, no changes, okay? Sitting stagnant. If that is you and you're in a plateau, I 100% can help you bust that plateau with either ketones, drink ketone challenge, or I can give you some advice on your food choices if you're not drinking ketones, and that is to back off cheese. Unfortunately, this video will not be for you. And to back off those keto-friendly flours and sweeteners. And you need to do that for good 4 weeks or until your body starts to move again. So that's the way you'll bust a plateau. And you don't have to change your food, but if you drink those ketones, you will see a plateau buster. And then if you don't want ketones, then you have to watch that food intake, and that is what I suggest you watch. So back off dairy, back off flours, and back off the sweeteners, even keto-friendly. Ooh, Michelle made the chili cheesesteak casserole. Kimberly is doing great. I weigh all the meats at 6 ounces. Kimberly is doing a great job. I'm so proud of you, Kimberly. Linda's doing garlic asparagus with butter lemon catfish fillet. Yum. That sounds so good, Linda. You guys are impressing me. Let's see. Any questions? I see that getting started. Allison will send you that. Lena, do you need to spray the bowl before you put the cheese on it? No, because it will come right off. I see you guys asking for getting started information, so I will be sending you that getting started information. Grilled salmon, yum. Okay, I'm just looking for questions. If you have questions, put them in the comments now. If not, I am literally almost done. Linda says, so happy to find out how to make these taco shells. No problem, girl. I'm glad you jumped on to see. Nancy's doing broccoli chicken curry. Yum, I hope you love it. I really like it. Make sure you get good seasonings in there, good salt and pepper. Jamie says, how do you make the taco salads with a twist? Jamie, I will send that to you. It's so good. Steak and chicken kebabs, yum. Yum, you guys are making me really hungry. Pulled pork. What kind of salsa? I'm using salsa that my Aunt Frances actually made for me. My Aunt Frances made some salsa for me, so I'm using that. If you buy salsa from the store, you most certainly can do. Just read your ingredient package. Make sure you know what sugar is in it and how many carbs, because there are some very low carb salsas, and then there are some salsas that are loaded with sugar. So you just have to read. But there are some really good low carb salsas out there. We had the Juicy Lucy last night, but tonight I don't really know. Now I want tacos. I hope you like the Juicy Lucy. I love my Juicy Lucy. It was so good. All right, guys, this is it. So I don't know how much more time I've got on my timer. This is my shell. This is my cheese shell. It's forming, and you'll see the little grease on there. So this is Monterey Jack cheese. The reason I like to do the shells over a bowl is because the extra grease does run off. You see it's not hardened yet. You see it's really melted still in the middle. So we're going to let this sit. And the reason you let it sit is so that it can harden and become your taco shell. Just like a taco salad bowl, this is your taco cheese bowl. So there's no point in you guys sitting on here. I don't see any questions coming through. If you have any questions, guys, feel free to send me your questions either in comments so everyone else can see the answers, or through personal message is fine as well. I am here to help you guys, and I normally am very honest, but also very nice about it. I am not a perfectionist. You guys watch my videos. You know I'm not a perfectionist. I am not the keto police. So I will give you my opinions, but I'll let you make your own choices. This morning, someone asked me about a sugar substitute. I told them my opinion, but then I showed them an article so they could read themselves. So I like to give you education as well as information. So if I can help you guys, just let me know. This is my 4th year. I'm starting my 4th year. I started my 4th year in April. I love keto. I love the low carb life. I love my ketones. I just love this lifestyle. So if I can help you in any way, please let me know. And guys, I'm going to jump off here and wait on this to harden. Talk to you guys later. Bye.